Welcome back to Space Frontiers. I'm Sarah, and today we're diving into one of the most anticipated launches of 2025, SpaceX's Starship Flight 11. This could be the mission that changes everything for deep space exploration.
That's right, Sarah. I'm Mike, and what makes Flight 11 so exciting is that it's being designed as Starship's first full orbital mission. We've seen 10 test flights so far, but this one is different. It's targeting actual orbit and a controlled return to Earth.
Let's talk about what made Flight 10 such a breakthrough. After several disappointing missions earlier in 2025, including that fiery incident in June, Flight 10 finally gave SpaceX the success they needed. The upper stage separated cleanly, completed its suborbital path, and even managed a controlled splashdown in the Indian Ocean.
Exactly. And now SpaceX is moving incredibly fast toward Flight 11. They're already conducting static fire tests with Super Heavy Booster B-15, which shows just how confident they are after Flight 10's success. The momentum is really building.
What's fascinating about Flight 11 is the payload situation. There are reports that real Starlink satellites have been delivered to Starbase for loading into Ship 38. If true, this would mark Starship's transition from pure testing to actually carrying live payloads.
Ship 38 is significant too. It's the final Block 2 Starship. After this, SpaceX moves to Block 3 vehicles starting with Flight 12. So in many ways, Flight 11 represents the culmination of the current Starship design iteration.
Now, let's discuss the mission profile. Unlike previous flights, Flight 11 will attempt something completely new, a deorbit burn using the header tanks. This maneuver would lower the vehicle's perigee so it intersects Earth's atmosphere, essentially proving Starship can return from orbit on command.
The technical challenges here are immense. We're talking about 7.8 kilometers entry speeds compared to the 5 to 6 kilometer SS of previous suborbital returns. That means much sharper heating rates, extended thermal stress on the heat shield, and higher aerodynamic loads on those crucial flaps.
And here's something interesting. Ship 38 won't attempt a tower catch at Starbase. Elon Musk has confirmed those high-risk recoveries are reserved for flights 13 through 15 once the Block 3 vehicles prove reliable. Instead, Flight 11 will target a controlled splashdown, most likely in the Indian Ocean.
That ocean landing isn't just a safety measure, though. It's a critical data gathering mission. SpaceX needs to assess how the thermal protection tiles and aerodynamic flaps perform together under orbital return conditions before they risk a tower catch.
The orbital mechanics are fascinating too. Since ground tracks rarely align after a single orbit, Ship 38 may actually circle Earth several times until it passes over the Indian Ocean landing zone. Imagine tracking a Starship as it orbits multiple times before finally coming home.
What really strikes me is how this builds toward the bigger picture. Flight 11 is essentially validating the complete orbital return sequence from the deorbit burn to atmospheric entry to controlled descent. Every piece of data they collect feeds into making Starship ready for lunar missions and eventually Mars.
Speaking of timeline, SpaceX's pace continues to amaze. Just days after Flight 10's success on August 26th, they were already preparing for Flight 11. This rapid iteration is exactly what's needed to make Starship operational.
For our listeners following along, keep an eye on the static fire tests and FAA approvals. Unlike the Crew Dragon program, Starship flights require extensive regulatory review, especially for orbital missions with potential debris considerations.
Before we wrap up, it's worth noting that Flight 11 represents more than just another test. If successful, it proves Starship can safely deliver payloads to orbit and return in a controlled manner. That's the foundation for everything: moon bases, Mars colonies, even point-to-point Earth transportation.
Absolutely. We're potentially watching the birth of the vehicle that will take humans to Mars. Flight 11 might be the moment we look back on as when Starship truly became operational.
That's all for today's deep dive into Starship Flight 11. Keep watching the skies, and we'll be back next week with more space exploration updates.
Thanks for listening to Space Frontiers. Until next time, ad Astro.